5,000 years ago, a silent flash of unimaginable heat instantly vaporized a metropolis. Today, we find the terrifying physical evidence: entire streets turned to green glass, and skeletons frozen in their final, agonizing moments. What happened here? Deep in the Indus Valley lies Mohenjo-Daro, the Mound of the Dead. For millennia, this silent sentinel of brick and stone lay buried, hiding a cataclysmic secret that challenges our entire understanding of human history. This was no primitive settlement. It was a marvel of prehistoric engineering, featuring a precise grid system, advanced wastewater management, and multi-story brick homes. Yet, its end was not a slow decline, but a sudden, violent erasure. In an instant, life stopped. When excavators first uncovered the streets in the 1920s, they made a chilling discovery. Skeletons lay scattered across the avenues, unburied, flat on the ground, as if struck down by a sudden, devastating force from above. These were not soldiers fallen in battle. Among the remains were families, husbands, wives, and children, some found hand in hand, facing their doom together in the middle of the street, caught completely unprepared. Curiously, these bones show absolutely no signs of physical trauma. There are no blade marks, no crushed skulls from stones, and no indications of a conventional military massacre. They died where they stood, untouched by physical weapons. Even wild beasts avoided them. But the skeletons are only the beginning of the mystery. Scattered throughout the ruins are zones of intense vitrification, where the very clay of the city's buildings has been melted into solid, dark glass. In specific sectors, researchers discovered localized sheets of green glass. This is not natural volcanic obsidian. This is sand, fused together under conditions of extreme, localized heat. To melt clay and sand into solid glass of this quality requires temperatures exceeding 1500 degrees Celsius. No ancient campfire, primitive pottery kiln, or conventional warfare of the Bronze Age could ever generate such terrifying, concentrated thermal energy. It demands a force of nature or technology far beyond its time. This green glass bears an uncanny resemblance to trinitite, the radioactive green glass created in the New Mexico desert in 1945, when the first atomic bomb melted the desert floor into a glassy sheet. Could there be a nuclear connection? When researchers measured the background radiation at Mohenjo-Daro, they found levels that were off the charts, specifically concentrated in the areas where the skeletons were found. Soviet scholar Alexander Gorbovsky reported that some of the skeletons recovered from the site exhibited radiation levels 50 times higher than normal background levels, as if they had been exposed to an intense blast of radioactive energy. The devastation was not uniform. It had a clear epicenter. At the center of the ruins, researchers identified a zone where every single building was completely leveled, pulverized into fine dust and melted slag. Moving away from this epicenter, the damage decreases. On the periphery, bricks are only melted on one side, the side facing the center of the blast, indicating a directional wave of intense thermal radiation. Could a volcano be responsible? Geologists have thoroughly surveyed the Indus Valley. There are no active or extinct volcanoes for hundreds of miles. The geological signature of a volcanic eruption is completely absent from the site. If not a volcano, and not an invading army, what force in the ancient world could unleash such fury? To find answers, some researchers look not to stones, but to the ancient, sacred texts of India. The Mahabharata, an epic Sanskrit poem dating back thousands of years, describes devastating wars fought with weapons of unimaginable power, weapons that sound eerily similar to modern thermonuclear technology. The texts speak of a weapon called the Agnya. It is described as a single projectile charged with all the power of the universe, producing an incandescent column of smoke and flame as bright as 10,000 suns. This weapon turned entire armies to ashes. It caused the hair and nails of survivors to fall out, made food poison, and forced soldiers to wash themselves and their armor in rivers to cleanse themselves of the invisible poison. To a modern reader, these are not mythological metaphors or poetic exaggerations. They are highly accurate, clinical descriptions of acute radiation sickness and the physical fallout of a nuclear detonation, recorded thousands of years before the modern split of the atom. The parallels are too precise to ignore. The texts also describe the Brahastra, a weapon so destructive that it could lay waste to entire realms, causing land to become barren and rainless for years. Was this poetic imagination or historical memory? Could an advanced civilization have existed in the deep past, possessing technology that we are only now rediscovering? Or did they witness a cosmic event that they struggle to describe with their limited vocabulary? Many mainstream scientists argue for a cosmic explanation. They suggest a meteor airburst, similar to the Tunguska event of 1908, where a space rock exploded in the atmosphere with the force of a multi-megaton nuclear bomb. An airburst would explain the extreme heat and the lack of a traditional impact crater. The shockwave and thermal blast would sweep down, melting the surface while leaving no deep scar in the Earth. Yet, the localized nature of the radiation at Mohenjo-Daro remains a stubborn anomaly. Meteors do not typically leave behind highly concentrated pockets of radioactive isotopes in human bones. If it was a meteor, why are there no high concentrations of iridium, a metal commonly found in space rocks, in the soil layer corresponding to the Cataclysm? The chemical signature of an impact is missing. The mystery deepens when we look at other ancient sites around the globe. From the deserts of Egypt to the ruins of Scotland, vitrified forts and melted stone suggest a global phenomenon of ancient thermal cataclysms. Were these sites connected? Did a wave of cosmic fire sweep across the Earth, or did humanity once possess the power of self-destruction and unleash it in a forgotten global conflict? The Indus Valley people were masters of metallurgy. They worked with copper, bronze, and gold. Could they have stumbled upon a natural nuclear reactor or possess knowledge we deem impossible for their era? Consider the Great Bath of Mohenjo-Daro. This massive, watertight structure was lined with bitumen. While assumed to be for ritual bathing, some speculate it could have served as a crude radiation shield or decontamination pool. Their script remains undeciphered. Hundreds of clay seals featuring strange symbols and animals have been found, but they refuse to speak. Do they contain the key to understanding the doom that befell them? Perhaps we are victims of linear historical bias. We assume progress is a straight line from primitive to advanced. But history may be cyclical, with high civilizations rising and falling into dust. In Hindu philosophy, time is measured in yugas, vast cosmic cycles of creation and destruction. The texts warn that at the end of each cycle, the world is purified by fire before being reborn. Are the vitrified ruins of the Indus Valley the physical proof of the end of a previous yuga? A monument to a time when gods and men wielded the ultimate fire, only to burn their world to ash. When J.R. Robert Oppenheimer, the brilliant father of the atomic bomb, was asked if the Trinity test was the first nuclear detonation in human history, his chilling reply was, yes, in modern times. He was deeply read in the Sanskrit epics, recognizing their terrifying truth. We must confront the possibility that we are not the first to unlock the secrets of the cosmos, nor the first to face the terrible consequences of that knowledge. Today, Mohenjo-Daro stands silent under the burning sun of Pakistan. Its vitrified bricks and radioactive bones remain a haunting enigma, a silent warning carved in melted stone. As we look upon these ruins, we must ask, is Mohenjo-Daro a window into our ancient past, or a terrifying mirror showing us our own inevitable future?